Welcome out, ladies and gentlemen, to this RGL.GG. This is the semi-final matchup, the Cowardly Dogs versus Cronge Realm, on this three-map series going from Product to Coal Plant to Cascade. Oh my, what a slew of Koth maps we have in store tonight. But we'll see if we have a good game in store tonight, as Cronge Realm, currently coming in as the third seed, has been doing consistently pretty well all season, but has yet to get a chink into the armor of the top two teams. The Cowardly Dogs are basically neck and neck with the cat noises, who are sitting inside of first place, and they have been doing exceptional all season, only losing one game against said cat noises. But the question is can Cronge Realm step up to the plate? Can they take down the Cowardly Dogs to get into the grand finals, or will the Cowardly Dogs easily walk their way into that grand finals match and get their chance at the $2,700 prize pool for first place? We'll be finding out that tonight. I am Sigafu with Vox to my side and Dolphin behind the scenes. How you doing out here, Vox?
Yeah, I'm doing great. I mean, there's kind of like no time to wait to get into this. We're on Product, and actually the teams look like they're getting ready to start off now. So I mean, dust yourselves off, ladies and gentlemen, because this mid is getting ready to happen. We got the Dogs on the blue side and Cronge Realm on red, and already early to mid is Ali from Cronge Realm, spamming some sticks across the point, but doesn't find too much, but legit opens things up. Nice headshot onto Dongus to clear out the soldier. Early bombs are not going to be an issue on their side, as right now Cronge Realm more forward on the point. Andrew finds the headshot onto Ali, which is big, but still just this mid going back and forth. No real cap time from either team as they just look for frag.
Yeah, and actually a little bit of a cute play coming out of Nursey. Nomi jumped in on the soldier class right above her, got her down to half HP, and so what she did is she ran into the house and then back up on the other side. Monster coming in with some WM1, but it looks like Cronge will get this point. Here comes in Dongus, gets one rocket, gets two, forces the pop out of Rayland, and they still have not come down with the point. But to kind of continue that, so Nursey bombed on top of underneath of cliff, and she ran inside of the house and then up onto China, because like she kind of hid up there because the soldier like wouldn't be expecting her there, and so was able to keep herself alive. Is now on 100% Uber charge, about a 70% advantage, as that looked like Cronge's point, but with Nomi going down, beautiful headshot. Ali's gonna go down as well.
Yeah, kind of a layup for a person like Andrew. You know, that's a difficult shot for 99% of players, but the soldier kind of stalling in midair, making that jump, he just finds the easy pick. And right now, controlling the point are the Cowardly Dogs, 100% on the Uber, as you mentioned, so they're just kind of waiting for Cronge Realm to make their push, and they'll be ready to defend when that happens. Coming up on 90% right now is Raylan, as everyone is grouped up over onto the cliff, just trying to get some spam down is Bull. As Monster takes a little bit, as well as Ali, but we got 100% on either side. This Uber should be coming in. Gotta make sure you don't lose anyone early. Billy Source goes down. That's the Pyro, which is actually a pretty key pick, as this Uber does come out. Oh! Talk about Andrew, huh?
Yeah, you might want to pop it before you go across the point. I think Cronge, they were trying to make kind of a flank play, but when you're walking to sniper sight lines, this isn't sixes. You got to be worried about that. Like, honestly, everything Cronge was doing was not wrong, but ultimately they needed to pop early when you're walking into the sight line that is Andrew, and they actually might have been able to win that fight if they just popped their Uber, but they were trying to milk it for that extra second, and ultimately worked against them. And so now they're going to have to work against this, down a minute 30 already, and just bleeding players just trying to walk up to the point, not even really doing anything wrong. Just great job out of the Cowardly Dogs, kind of picking off players one by one and make that another's Bulls on a 4K right now.
Yeah, and Andrew finds another pick onto Raylan. I think he was over on the crates on the left side of point, and just kind of picked Raylan off, trying to back off into spawn, as Skelly did go down to those pipes. But it looks like Nomi now in heavy. Skelly switching up to Pyro. See how that kind of affects things going forward. It does seem like this round, I hate to call it a minute in, is a foregone conclusion, just how good the Dogs look. Under a minute, 100% on the Uber, and nowhere near right now is Raylan, especially with this forward hold too. The Dogs look great. They actually decide to use Uber, and Raylan is caught in. Banny? Oh, I thought Nursey ended up getting the kill, but it's actually Billy Soros who cleans things up.
But yeah, behind the scenes, the point is being captured. Jay's able to do it with Monster, but they're ultimately both going to get cleaned up. And it was a nice little chance there. We'll see what Legit can find on the sniper class. Looking for something, but Nursey did go down slightly early. Actually, Legit did get the headshot on Nursey. I didn't see that. And so this is going to actually give an opening for Cronj if they're able to use it. They have 6 players alive. Brave, kind of some low HP as they start to walk forward onto the point. Monsta still on the spy class. Did get spotted by Mirror Man as Jay's going around as well, but with 5 seconds left, here we go into overtime. What can they do?
Yeah, they have some cap time down. They just got to have someone commit to the point, but unfortunately they gave the Cowardly Dogs so much space. Jumping in right there is Nomi. He gets a frag, but it just wasn't enough. It felt like there was so much time for Cronjrum to get aggressive, to get on and really kind of make a stand, and they just waited for the clock to drip down into that overtime, and then you're completely on the back foot. So Cowardly Dogs take a very decisive first round.
Yeah, and so we'll see what they can do as they come into this next mid-fight. Their mid-fight was pretty strong. They just weren't able to finish it off. We'll see if the Cronjrum can do a little bit better this time, as Nursey's now playing up on the cliffside rather than below Bowl, getting some damage done onto him. But here comes Ndongas from behind, and that's 3 players down for Cronj, including Raylan, who got body shot from Andrew. And that's one more, trying to make a bomb in onto the medic boat, just not close enough. Monster's still on that spy class. Is going to go for a decloak, but I'm guessing he's going to get... Oh, he almost got the stair stab onto Nursey. But now it's going to be the Cowardly Dogs in control of the point, and we'll see what they can do. As Cronjrum, this is where they've struggled. They've kind of been a little bit too passive, in my opinion, when they don't control the point. No suicide ways, really, to speak of.
Yeah, and it can definitely be tough to get in the mentality of going for broke and going for those sack waves, trying to play aggressive when he got a team like the Cowardly Dogs on the other side. I mean, just looking at Banny, looking what Andrew's doing right now, you've got to feel a little worried when you're Cronjrum, and maybe that's why they're playing passive. But they do decide to get aggressive here. They're putting out some good damage. They've taken down Bowl and Billy Saurus, only losing Nomi in the process. There goes Skelly trying to get something done on Scout, but this point could go in their favor. 100% for Nursey though, and they might just be lulling them into a false sense of security, as this Uber should come out relatively shortly. I guess waiting for the players to group up.
Yeah, it's going to be 100% Uber charge ready to go on either side here. Ali's getting some damage onto him. It's going to get forced off onto Banny. Nursey's going to respond in kind of slightly. Actually, they're pretty much even Ubers on either side. Monster getting flashed around here, but will he be able to pick up any breaks in the backside? No, they're just going to opt to back out, but Banny's not going to let him. Takes him down. A nice little 3-shot there. And that's going to put Cronj right back into it, as Legit goes down as well. So no miracle sniper shots are going to happen here. Actually, they do get back up with that fast respawn, but Ali disconnected from everybody, and Banny should clean him up. And just like that, Cronj gonna lose the point, and we'll see what they can do with this. But they do have some class changes, as Monsta now onto the heavy class, trying to get some of that extra DPM.
Yeah, switching off of Spy, and I can understand why you'd want to use the Spy with Andrew doing so well. He's not at the top of the scoreboard, but he's been getting really clutch picks and important picks, mostly onto Raylan. But I can definitely see the reason why you'd want to switch off, because it really hasn't been that successful at stopping him. Good bomb in right there from Nomi, distracting. But unfortunately, not too many other players around to clean up. There goes Ali picking up one. That's Banny down. But Nursey escapes, and that's the important one, because she's on 100% Uber right now, as Ali gets headshot by Andrew trying to escape back to the point. So 100% for both sides, but Cronjrum have already lost 3 players. Make that a Skelly falls, and they're really not looking good if Cowardly Dogs choose to push this, which it looks like they will.
Yeah, they're going to use the Supercharge to go back into him. Nursey, though, does have the 100% ready to go. Monsta went down on the heavy class, and now they're going to have to just opt to back out. Nursey not even popping this, but they're going to stay in, actually get a rocket onto Nursey, but Billy Saurus doing a great job reflecting. And so both the flank classes from Cronj should go down, not even taking a player with them. It was a good idea, but just not great execution. And so we'll see what Legit can find. I think he's been spotted on the hill, so Nursey playing it ultra safe. But right now, Cronjrum lose the point, and they're down a minute and ticking ever so closer to another round for the Cowardly Dogs.
Yeah, and I mean, for Cronj, at least you've gotten something out of this round, and hopefully that means coming into round 3, not to talk like this one's already over, but maybe it can mean something. They'll be more aggressive at mid and be willing to take more chances, because they have possibilities. As Skelly picks up Dongus, and there's a lot of cap time right now for Cronj, but the Uber comes out from Nursey and company, just blocking the point as much as they can. But Cronjrum do still have a few players left alive. Monsta should fall. Raylan went down to Bowl too, and that's the big one. That's the kicker. So the point will not get capped. Cowardly Dogs retain control, and with 25 seconds, they look to take the second round.
Yeah, we'll see what they can do. Here comes Nomi on to Bull. Does take him out. That's a good pick to open this up. The point's halfway captured. Skelly's on the right-hand side, trying to make a flank play as Ali goes in, gets caught in a little bit awkwardly, and this Pyro was running the WM1 into Nursey, but wasn't able to get it. A couple frags going in the favor of the Cowardly Dogs, as Dongus is down, but with Jay going into this 1v5, he's going to easily go down with using the fan. Now it's just Raylan as well as Legit onto the point, and well, that's not going to be enough as they do a little Benny Hill around the point, but ultimately it's going to be the Brave Dogs taking this 2-0 and 1 point away from taking this map.
Yeah, and, you know, we can hopefully take a look at the logs. Oh, wait. Oh, that's right. We're going right through into round 3. I forgot just because it's the best of 5 here. Yeah, on product. So we do have the next mid coming in. Ali, again, early to point, but Banny already stopping him dead in his tracks. With that, I think he's got the Force of Nature out or something. Can't 100% tell, but we've got Crondrum. They have position, or they have the ability, but never mind. Bull just blows it up. Monsta and Raylan fall. Nomi gets picked up as well, and Cowardly Dogs look to make their way onto yet another mid cap, and just very clean from it.
Yeah, they are just doing phenomenally well. I'm looking at the logs from the first 2 rounds. Banny and Bull. Banny at 528 DPM, the highest in the server, and also top fragging. Bull sitting at 517 DPM. That's pretty impressive when you see a scout top fragging, especially in Prolander on Kothnath, because there's so many things that can potentially deal with them. But here we go. Banny's going in for a flank play onto Monsta. He's going to get spotted and be able to back out. He's actually going back around, and he's going to pick up Ali. Yeah, that man tossing some, well, he's going to say some words in chat. I can't say them out loud, but that man is not happy, to say the least.
Yeah, it definitely not great, but Legit does find Andrew. I mean, it's something, although Raylan is down yet again, which is gonna put a stop to any possibility. Nursey just sitting at 100%. I don't think she's used. I don't think she's had to use so far in this round. There goes Nomi, maybe trying to make a play. She's gonna fall as Uber still being held on to by Nursey. Everyone on Kronj just trying to do some sort of damage as Jay just jumps around with the pistol, looking for anything. Gets meleeed down by Bull with that pain train. He's gonna get traded out, but I can't imagine it's gonna be for very long.
And Brutal Monster was so close to getting to pick onto Andrew, but just wasn't able to land it. And so now we'll see if Kronj will be able to get anything out of this round, as they're currently down 1:30. As oh no, Skelly goes down once again. Andrew picking up a big headshot, and here comes Ndonga. Huge, right above the medic, but he's pretty low. He will get traded out there. And so Legit actually gets a headshot onto Andrews. No sniper, but Bandy's going around with Nursey. Here comes out the Ubercharge. They're going for a flank play onto Raylan. They don't even spot him yet. Raylan going out at half HP, but surfing for his life to 80. Can he do it? But no, Bandy's going to take the pistol to take him down. And Nursey, I think, got a saw as well onto Ali. And so that's going to give her slightly longer Ubercharge. But ultimately, they're both going to go down. Only 2 players left alive. And a little bit of a cocky play. You got to imagine they did that just for fun there, because maybe not the best decision. They got the frags they wanted, but with Raylan already back up, Nursey coming back up now, and trading out the point for Crunch, probably not the best play in the world.
Yeah, I think Nursey was just itching for any reason to go in battle medic, and she does get a couple saws, extends the Uber for a little while. It would have been great if there was some kind of escape afterwards, but I think it's a highlight play nonetheless. And talk about highlights, there goes the point, just getting wiped. Our Crondrell Monster goes in for yet another stab and misses it. So Mirrorman is gonna take him down pretty easily. Under a minute left to go, and Dogs look to be headed their way to a 3-0 on this map, and it just goes to show why they're so good, why they're in contention for that grand final.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, just so incredibly strong here on different things. It's like, you can really speak to, like, well, Crondrome can be doing some things differently. I think at the start of the game, they're struggling a little bit with focus fire, but ultimately, it's just you're going up against this giant wall of the Cowardly Dogs, and to be able to overcome that is something. And I think one of the other things, too, is that you see this a lot in every sporting event, especially when it comes to recreational, is that once you start losing, it's hard to turn it around unless you have, like, really good mental fortitude. And when you're going up against, this uphill battle that is, against the Cowardly Dogs, it's extra hard for Crondrum. I think they're playing their hearts out, but you know, it's always I can speak to it myself. When I start losing in a game, it's just always just that much harder to be able to pick myself up to push that extra mile. But here we go, looking at logs as we get onto the second map here, this clean 3-0. And what are you seeing looking at the logs here to start out?
Oh, I don't have them. You go first. You go first.
I go first. Okay.
You go first.
I got Vanny top fragging 510 DPM, so he's the only player currently above 500. Bulls falls slightly below at 461 after being above 500 during that second round. But it's kind of crazy to see Bull. You know, usually it's unusual for a demo man to be doing so well. But ultimately, he really was just hitting pipes for days. And so just a great job by him. Raylan dying 11 times to Nursey's 3. So that, I mean, that's another big one right there. Is just that, you know, you die, your medic dies that many times. Also, Nursey has 26 assists compared to Raylan's 5. So not the greatest. I mean, you just look at even the frags, it's like they're 49 to 95. They're almost being double fragged. But you know what I'm saying? Like it shouldn't be that much. Like they still should be like, you know, obviously they should be having more frags, the Cowardly Dogs, but it should be like 66%, you know, or like 20% better, 10% better. And what that shows me is just like the picks that they're getting is that when they're doing damage to the Cowardly Dogs, it's not focused down. They're getting players low, but they don't have enough players focusing the same player to be able to win those fights. As we're moving on to Cascade here.
Yeah, and I think, you know, you pointed out a few times just playing passive sometimes, and it is difficult. It is you play them with so much respect because maybe you have the point and you start to feel some pressure and you're like, you know what, let's try to regroup. Let's make sure that we all have 7. The only way we're gonna do this is if we have a pure like 7v7 or try to take advantages when we find them. But then you end up in those situations where you've kind of just given them too much room, and with a team with Banny, Bull, you know, plays out as one, Andrew, everyone on Cowardly Dog stepping up. You give them an inch and they'll take a mile, and that's really the story of product there. I saw someone in chat, Junpei, I don't know if I pronounced it right, said 1 minute and 17 was the cap time for Cron's Realm across all 3 rounds. So less than 1.5 minutes combined in all 3 rounds, and I think that just speaks to the dominance of Cowardly Dogs on the map.
Yeah, I just want. I mean, let me give you a stat line here. In the final round, one team had, or actually, let's go to the second round. In the second round, no, the final round is actually the closest one. So the final round, it was 19,000 damage to 16,000 damage, right? So obviously, it was the Cowardly Dogs. They had 3,000 more damage. What was the frag difference in that 3,000 damage?
You tell me. I'm not
32 to 17.
Oh, yeah, there it is.
There's almost double the amount of frags for only like a few thousand damage. And so again, that tells me like Cronj is doing damage. They're clearly not a bad team, right? But it's just like when they're doing damage, it's not resulting in kills. Whereas when the Cowardly Dogs it is. And so usually that just means the Cronj that tends to mean a few things. Like Cronj is out of position and they're kind of lemoning, you know, one by one into bad fights. Obviously, you know, I'm going to imagine that the Cowardly Dogs has slightly better DM than them. And so that just means they need to play better together. If they're going to have a chance at turning this around, they need to play together as a team. They need to have the buddy system. Make sure none of them walk into the road. That is Banny. Get hit by the car. That is Bull. You know, stay together. Make sure nobody's lost. And so you can take a fight. So when Banny comes at you overextending, or when Bull comes at you overextending, you have a chance to make a play. And I'm kind of curious, you know, I think some of the classes have been working. I think Nomi's been doing all right on Soldier, but I feel like his Soldier's been like just good enough. He's actually almost bottom fragging or bottom damaging on Soldier, which is really not what you want. And I'm kind of wondering, like, maybe Nomi should just be playing Spy, because Soldier's, if you're not doing damage, he's just kind of running it like a pick class. He went 6 and 16. You know, maybe he needs to just switch it up to Spy if that's what he's going to do, or maybe Engineer just to get some more consistent DPM. One other thought is like, why don't they run heavy Natasha? You know,
yeah.
Crunch is going everywhere. They're bombing. Banny's overextending. Using Natasha to slow them down. I'm not saying it's going to work. I'm not saying that would make the game they'd win, but just ideas of maybe here's ideas of what they could be doing differently. But we'll find out if anything can change it for them as we come into this next round.
Yeah, the mid does open up, and I am interested to see how Kronstrom respond. They already have a crit streak, so something different. But Andrew, we were talking about Nomi already down, headshot immediately. And Cowardly Dogs have really taken control of this point as Monster goes down. Banny's got two. I think he's hungry for more as he takes down the mini sentry actually from the other way through Shutter. Some spam coming in through Bull, but you know, kind of to that point, we often do talk about the class switches, but we have an open whitelist too. I mean, there's so many opportunities as getting behind right there as Dongus takes down Raylan. Skelly just not there quick enough to stop Dongus.
Not enough. And I mean, one of the things, actually legit coming out with some big headshots, take down Andrew, as well as only 3 players alive here, as Nursey is up to 100%, but they need to get a force off. Ali coming in, gets the rocket, popping Nursey way up into the air, as Billy Horse is going to do a good job reflecting. Bull's going to be walking forward with his team. The mini sentry does go down, but here comes in Skelly to back up and try to help out his team. Banny is finally coming from the reinforcements, but what can they do? As Dongus will go down, Banny should go down with Jay's help as well as Skelly's. And so now it's just Bull as well as Nursey forward, and here we come in Jay using the the jetpack for the pyro to get across the point as Bull gets his head taken off by Legit, stepping up for his team, and this is actually a pretty good position. All players alive. The point goes down in the favor of Crunch, and they do have charge. Here comes in Jay with the jetpack, and Andrew's going to get taken out with Skelly up front, so that's a really good pick. And Crunch this is probably the most comfortable they've looked all game.
Yeah, and that is really off the back. Jay just kind of playing Chaos Pyro, legit with a couple of nice shots in. He's on a 5K right now, so I think him stepping up is going to be huge. They need to find a way to shut down Andrew's spy wasn't working, and if you can get your sniper hot, I think that's going to mean big things. Dongus gets stopped mid-air trying to get some more. Banny's going to take down Legit as a few more picks go in the Cowardly Dogs' favor, and Raylan is out of the equation as Nursey cleans everything up. Well, I guess heals the players that are cleaning everything up with that Uber.
Yeah, nice job. That was pretty much a wipe in the favor of the Cowardly Dogs. So now Raylan is going to get back up here. They do have a teleporter exit up, so they do have Engineer Monster off of Heavy from last round now onto the Engineer class, which isn't the worst thing in the world. You have a passive sentry gun, maybe that'll help with Banny. I mean, if you have a mini sentry gun up, like, that scout's not going to be doing anything, as Dong is doing a good job denying the jumpers, taking down Ali as he goes flying back, and so we'll see what they can do. They're also switching up classes. Nomi was Soldier last round, so Ali's now on Soldier, and Nomi's on a demo. So Kronj are also mixing up who's playing what.
Yeah, and they're still sticking with that Kritzkrieg, waiting to see when it comes to 100% who they're going to use on it. I mean, Nursey's already back at 100, and the shock has worn off. They should be aware that Kritzkrieg is in play. It's just going to come down to an early pop and a lucky sticky. Oh, never mind. No pop necessary because Banny is going to take down Raylan. Make sure they're not even under any threat to have to use that Uber.
Yeah, and a suicide wave coming in from Kronj, but just mistimed. I mean, that's kind of like the story of the day is Kronj is just, they're doing a lot of things right, but just at the wrong times. Like, here's Jay going in alone with the jetpack. He's going to go down. The sentry gun's going to get taken out, and they'll get cleaned up. And it's like, if Kronj literally did all of the ideas they just had of the soldier bombing, with the demo bombing, with, you know, all of that, and then the pyro jetpacking in, they might have actually had a play happen. But because they all did it one by one, like, they were easily able to be cleaned up. And so this is why when we look at the numbers, that it's like the damage numbers are very, very close, but the kills are drastically in the favor of the Cowardly Dogs. And like, that's just an example of why that's happening. It's like the Kronj Realm, completely legit team that could be hanging in here with the Cowardly Dogs. Like, obviously they'd always be the underdog, but they're just not giving themselves a chance with their playstyle currently.
Yeah, you know, that's a good point. You go in alone and you maybe launch a couple of rockets, a couple of stickies in there, and you do 100, 200 damage to a couple of different targets, but Nursey's just going to out-heal that very, very easily, and you're going to die. And I mean, that one really, really nice push, what happened, yeah, okay, like, couple players, legit Jay, they stepped up and did big things, but it was also probably the most coordinated we've seen Kronj Realm. This mid does start off, and they're out, at least they're out in mid. Last time they got stuffed in their lobby and didn't find anything, as legit and Nomi do find a couple of picks themselves. So those pick classes are well named. as they find a few for the team, and they should come down with this mid as Legit finds one more headshot onto Dongus, but they haven't capped point yet, and someone's got to do it, huh?
Yeah, they're going to use the crit screen, and they're going to find Billy Source, not much else, but Skelly will take down Nursey. The point has still not been captured by Cronj Realm, and now they're going to be contested by the Cowardly Dogs, not even with Ubercharge, but here comes in Banny, going in onto the medic, and yeah, that's going to be a pickup kill of Mirrorman, and Cronj Realm, they went for everything, and they come away with nothing, and so now, go ahead.
I'm so sorry. I don't want to interrupt, but I just have so many feelings about that. They got Nursey. They had 5 players alive, I think, and just even Legit was around the point when they hadn't capped and just waiting for his teammates to come and just could have stepped on it. It was like 85% there.
Yeah, I mean, it really just kind of shows you again, just like Cronj are trying to go for miracle plays rather than play as a team, and that's why this is happening. Like, you have Jay running out for no reason, you know, Skelly went in for a big play alone, and it's like you're just bleeding players and not just focusing on the capture. You're not going to the point, you're just trying to make miracle plays, and you know, 9 times out of 10 they're not working. And again, that's why you're having these 2-to-1 kill disparities between the two teams. So Ali now back onto Devilman. The point is being captured here, but here comes the Uber charge onto the point, chasing down Raylan, and all the other players Legit trying to get out, as well as Monsta. This is actually a decent retreat coming out of Cronj Realm, as Nomi gets spotted out there on Spy, is able to get taken down, and Billisaurus goes down, but Raylan got taken down by Billisaurus. I didn't even see that, but the Flames do their justice, and that's going to give a sizable advantage back to Nursey, who's very quickly building this, already up to 60%.
Yeah, and I did kind of believe for a second, like you said, with that retreat, they could have busted out, but Billisaurus, same. I didn't see exactly where, but just finds enough room to take down Raylan, which is kind of a heartbreak there for Cronj Realm. Nomi was trying to get the stab in on Spy, couldn't find anything. So Cowardly Dogs just continue to dominate this game. They've shaved a minute 40 off of this clock here in round number 2. As Kritzkrieg is back on for Raylan. I think they may have switched to Uber at one point, or maybe I just took my eyes off of it, but I mean, as soon as they put any presence on point, just the entirety of Cowardly Dogs is there to stop them.
Yeah, and here comes in the Cowardly Dogs Banny leading the charge. Raylan, yeah, he's going to get cornered up here, and Nursey's going to get a little Uber charge just to add insult to injury, as Jay's going to go down as well. Only 4 players left alive here, as Monsta is going to have to, well, he's going to go into this 1v1 against Banny. The Sentry Gun's not going to save him. Yeah, he's going to get taken out, Banny, on a 3K. And so Nursey is going to be holding on to that slight Uber advantage, about 30%. And right now, I mean, just, I'm not really sure to say, like, Legit's doing well, but I mean, Cronj, it's pretty obvious what they need to fix, but you know, we'll see if they're able to do any of it. 22 seconds left in the clock here. They've yet to capture the point this round. And here comes a Bandy onto Ali. Should be able to take him down. Does win that 1v1. And now Dongus doing a great job jumping in, tons of damage.
Yeah, and right now for Cowardly Dogs, I mean, it's just about getting in their face, preventing them from jumping to point. So you don't need the whole world, and that's what Dongus does, is he jumps in over on the ramp side, is just delay, and that's just a clean sweep on that round. Not a single second of cap time for Cronj Realm, and you know, you go back and they had the opportunity, but you know, I guess on the other side, on the flip side, credit to the Cowardly Dogs for recognizing the fact that they had gotten a couple of picks and the point hadn't even been capped. Even without their medic, they just walk forward and take it for free, because I mean, they know they can get away with so much. Scaly and Mirrorman both go down, couple of early trades. It's actually Cronj being left worse for wear. Dongus, Andrew, Bull all joining in on the fun, finding a few more frags, so Dogs take yet another mid, and I think that makes it all 6 now.
Yeah, I think they've pretty much done it. They should have lost last mid, but obviously we saw the reason why they didn't. Currently, Banny is top fragging in the server in the first 2 rounds. 17 frags from your man right behind him with 11. Here comes Anali with the suicide wave in by himself, and easily gets cleaned up when he jumps into 5 players. And so the other big stat line is that, yeah, once again, about a 2-to-1 favor of kills for the Cowardly Dogs, but the damage is not as far away from that. So here comes in Monster J jumping in with the Pyroclast, but he's going to get reflected back. But fortunately, neither play dies. Skelly's going to bomb in onto Bull. Bull is going to go down, but the cost of that is pretty much everybody else. Though Jay he does get the 1v1 against Banny, and now they're trapped underneath point. How is Jay as well as Raylan going to play this?
Yeah, I kind of see what their best plays. I mean, they've got Kritzkrieg and a Pyro. I don't know what kind of distance they're going to be closing, so they do back off. Ali is around. Actually, they do crit the Pyro, but immediately Nursey pops the Uber, and I guess for the shock and surprise factor, it was something, but you need something like a rocket or a sticky that Nursey can't even see coming if you're gonna do something big there. You need the drop in that equation, or if you're not gonna get the drop, you need something that'll do that splash damage to take down 3 of her heal targets before she even gets a chance to pop. So Kron's Realm, it's the closest I think they've come to being able to put something together like that, but unfortunately the execution still just isn't on.
Now Monster in a 1v1 against Nursey. Took down Banny, but Monster gets Nursey down to half HP. Nursey dodging, looking for those melee saws. Monster still never got the kill on Nursey, and he's gonna get cleaned up. Yeah, that is sad. I mean, great job out of Nursey, but I've been in that position before where I've just beefed against a great medic, and so there you go. Nursey is gonna be coming out, has 100% ready to go. 50 seconds left in the clock here for Brave to get their spot into the grand finals. But we'll see if Crontrell can get anything. Here comes an ally. Great bomb in. Is not able to find any damage, though, onto Nursey, other than just a little bit of a chip damage. And so we'll see what Brave can do. But doesn't look like it's going to be much as that's going to be Banny and Dongus sitting right outside their ramp exits.
Yeah, with the stickies going down here, I mean, you're going to talk alternate routes now for Kron's Realm, and as soon as they commit, you know they're probably going to get stopped. Underneath, Mirrorman does go down. It was actually the crits that got popped, and Raylan down there taunting with the crit screen. Could have been a misclick, or could have been just, rather than delay the inevitable, just try to have some fun. But there goes Ali, Raylan, Jay, Monster. This is so dominant from the dogs. They take it 6-0, 3-0 on 2 Koth maps, and boy, if you didn't like their chances going into it, I guess you could have put some money down on it.
Yeah, just not the greatest match we've ever seen. Commiserations to Kron's Realm, though. It seems they kind of got what they deserved with their playstyle. It seems like they kind of gave up after the first minute, and they didn't actually have a good chance. But I just want to give a great stat line, which I think kind of underlines. I'm going to give you 2 stat lines here. Actually, I'll just give you one. Kind of underlines everything I said, which is that Kron's Realm is not drastically the worst team. The numbers do not support this. The play style today of how far off they are, not that far away, right? They really could be making this a game that is competitive, but they're choosing not to. But here's the stat line I want to give you. 2,000 damage difference, 24 kill difference. Just 2,000 damage and 24 kills. Like, that's crazy. That is an insane number. You see, like, you could look at other matches where that much damage difference is like, you know, you could potentially even have positive kills with a lower number. To have 24 kill difference, to have 12 to 26, or I'm sorry, it's a 2-to-1. Sorry, it wasn't 24 kill difference. It was a 14 kill difference, but it's over 2-to-1 kill difference. I'm gonna stop talking about this because I'm just repeating myself ad nauseum. But I can't underline it enough. Like, I just want to say, like, what Crunch could be if they actually were putting in their full effort. So either way here, Banny top fragging this last round again, 403 damage. Disappointing, Banny. I thought you were good, not 500 DPM. Get good, son. Andrew right behind him as he was able to pull away from Legit, who was actually keeping toe-to-toe with him for the first 2 rounds. But I'm not sure how much there really is to say about these logs, given just kind of how the game went down. One interesting note, though, is that Mirrorman had 30% heals, and Bull only had 17%. That's actually a little bit unusual to have the heavy have so many heals.
Yeah, the only thing I can think of is Bull was probably all over the map, just trying to go in and put as many pipes and sticks out to get damage and frag. So Nursey was probably just left hanging out with Mirrorman on heavy for the majority of it, just like, all right, you guys go do that. I'm gonna check a couple of texts right now real quick. Oh, I gotta, yeah. So I that's really the only thing I can think of is just turtling and pocketing over in over by the ramp side, just just really skewing those heels. I guess one other thing to mention, Nursey only dying one time. It's not like crazy surprising given the outcome, but it's always impressive when a medic manages over the course of about 10 minutes of game time, looks like 15, to only go down once. Again, a little disappointing. Thought 0 could have happened.
I mean, Nursey, really? Okay, Nursey. Either way, guys, I think that's pretty much it for us here tonight. But the thing to remember is that the grand finals, the date has already been set ahead of time. Solidify it. Put it in your calendar right now. Open up Google Calendar. Yeah, all you kids who don't use calendars whatsoever, I'm talking to you. Open it up. Put in Monday, 9:30 Eastern, cat noises versus the Cowardly Dogs, the classic fight of Banny going up against Daffodil. Long time rivalry. They split series earlier in the season with Cowardly Dogs losing one game and the Cowardly Dogs also winning one game. That was actually the first loss Banny ever had inside of RGL Prolander. And so this is looking to be an absolute great one. And you can imagine both teams are going to be playing with their hearts on the line, given that there's a $2,700 purse sitting for that first place. That's $300 per person. Nothing to scoff at. And so I'm guessing that both of those teams are eagerly awaiting their chance to get into that first place spot. So that's, again, Monday, this coming Monday, the 10th, at 9:30 Eastern on this very channel. So click that follow button. Make sure you're sitting back up with this. And if you want to try Prolander, rgl.gg/pugs. That's rgl.gg/pugs. And you can join our Discord and play some pugs whenever you're free. We have them going on at least once a week, sometimes more often, both for North America as well as Europe. But I think we can wrap it up here. Vox, any kind of final thoughts you want to give?
Just big thanks to the team. Shout out to the Billysaurus TV hanging out in chat, and shout out to Junpei. I learned your name. All right, yeah, that's all. I thanks for having me out.
Yeah, thank you for everybody who came out and gave us a viewership. This is actually this is some pretty good viewership for us starting out the gate and for having such a short game. So really do appreciate it, and I hope to see all of you back out here for that Monday night play. So I think with that, let's just give some love to Dolphin, as always, doing a great job blinking his way to the future. And so make sure to toss a heart out in the chat to let him know his good work is appreciated. And with that, I am Sigafu with Vox Day to my side and Dolphin behind the scenes. We will see you next time.